Now let's move on to activity 2. We want to observe the various positions that the center of enlargement can assume. If you quite remember, previously we always used the origin as the center of enlargement. But in scale drawings, the center of enlargement can assume various positions. And we can have positive scale factors and negative scale factors, as we observed in the previous activity. So in this first scenario, the center of enlargement can be outside the object. So since this is a positive scale factor, you would notice that the image triangle A prime, B prime, C prime is on the same side as the object triangle ABC, whilst the center of enlargement is outside the object. The center of enlargement can also be at a vertex of the object. In this case, the object and the image are both sharing the vertex as the center of enlargement. So for example, the object triangle OFC and the image triangle OCB have a common vertex at O, and it happens to be the center of enlargement. Also, the center of enlargement can be inside the object, and it can also be at the side of the object. So in this case, the square ABCD is the object, and A prime, B prime, C prime, D prime is the image square. So these are various positions that can be assumed by the center of enlargement in positive scale factors. Also, in negative scale factors, the center of enlargement can assume various positions. The center of enlargement can be outside the object, as seen in this diagram here, and since it is a negative scale factor, the object and the image are at opposite sides of the center of enlargement. And also take note of how the corresponding vertices are interchanged. For example, we have C at this top right hand, whilst its image along the same line is at the bottom left side. The same can also be said for B and its image B prime. The center of enlargement can also be at the vertex of the object. So in this case, the object triangle OCB and the image triangle OB prime C prime share a common vertex at O, which happens to be the center of enlargement. And also the corresponding vertices B prime and B lie along the same line, and then C and C prime are also on the same line. The center of enlargement can also be inside the object. As compared to that of the positive scale factor, you would notice that the positions of the corresponding vertices are interchanged. For example, A, which is in the object, is at the top left corner here, but its image, which is A prime, is at the bottom right corner here. Also, B in the object is at the top right corner here, whilst B prime in the image is at the bottom left corner. So this indicates that it is a negative scale factor. Now, in finding the scale factor of enlargement, when a plane shape is enlarged by a scale factor of k, then the scale factor of enlargement is given as the image length divided by the corresponding object length. In these scale drawings, where we have triangle ABC as the object, and then triangle A prime, B prime, C prime as the image, we can establish the relations in finding the scale factor. So in each case, we are dividing the image length by the corresponding object length. For example, in the positive scale factor here, the length OA prime divided by the length OA gives us the scale factor. Also, OC prime divided by OC gives us the scale factor K. In the same way, OB prime divided by OB also gives us the scale factor. And the same can also be observed in the negative scale factor drawing here. And we can also establish a relation for finding the object length. So in this case, the object length OA can be obtained by dividing the length of the image by the scale factor in each of the three cases. And also we can establish a relation for finding the image length. For example, the length of OA prime is equal to the scale factor multiplied by the object length. So we'll be using these relations to perform various calculations that involve finding the scale factor of enlargement. Let's look at some questions involving finding the scale factor of enlargement in scale drawings. For this first question, we are told that in the figure below, rectangle A prime, B prime, C prime, D prime is an enlargement of rectangle ABCD. Find the scale factor of enlargement and hence find the length of A prime, B prime. Now when we observe the two triangles, we can identify the corresponding sides as AD, which is 3 centimeters, and then A prime, D prime, which is 9 centimeters. So we can use that to find the scale factor of enlargement. So the scale factor is given as the image length divided by the corresponding object length. And that is 9 centimeters divided by 3 centimeters, giving us 3 centimeters. And to find the image length A prime, B prime, we identify its corresponding length in the object, which is AB, 6 centimeters. So we can multiply the scale factor by the object length to give us the image length. So that is 3 times 6 centimeters, which is equal to 18 centimeters. Another example. In the diagram below, triangle ABC is an enlargement of triangle AEF. Calculate the scale factor of enlargement and find the value of x. So we are told that the big triangle ABC is the image, and the length of AB is 12 meters, because we have to add this 6 meters plus this 6 meters to give us 12 meters. And the small triangle AEF is the object. That means we have the corresponding sides here. The image length is 12 meters, AB, and then the object length is 6 meters. So we can use that to find the scale factor of enlargement. So therefore 12 meters for the image divided by 6 meters for the object gives us a scale factor of 2. And we can also find the image length, which is CB or x, by multiplying the scale factor by its corresponding object length, which is 4 meters. So 2 times 4 gives us 8 meters, and that is the length of CB, which is x. In this example, the figure below, triangle AXY is an enlargement of triangle ABC. A, find the scale factor of enlargement, and B, find AB. We can identify the corresponding sides by observing the vertices that are on the same line. So over here, AY, which is 10 centimeters, corresponds to AC, which is 4 centimeters. So we can use that to find the scale factor of enlargement, that is the image length divided by the corresponding object length. And since the image and the object are at opposite sides of the center of enlargement, our scale factor needs to be negative. So our final answer is negative 2.5. And to find the length of AB, AB is an object length, and the object length is given as the image length divided by the scale factor. So its corresponding image length is AX, which is 8 centimeters. So we are going to divide 8 centimeters by the absolute value of the scale factor, since measurement of length cannot be negative. So we are not going to use the negative, but just the 2.5. So 8 divided by 2.5 gives us the length of 3.2, and that is the length of AB. Now in activity 2, there are various questions for you to try your hands on and solve. Questions involving finding the scale factor of enlargement in scale drawing. You may pause the video and solve each of the following questions. Now you may compare your answers in activity 2 to the answers that we have here.